Ladies and gentlemen, welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy Tuesday. How's everyone doing today? Guys, don't forget to smash the like button on your way in. I appreciate you guys for joining me. Happy Tuesday. Bitcoin currently trading at $88,534.63. Hey, what's going on, guys? Let's see. Bitcoin looking good, doing its typical pump and dump and pump and dump. Let's go refresh our liquidation heat map and see where we're at. Get a little 12-hour action going in. Zoom in on here. Okay, we've liquidated some bulls. We've got 89,212. 89,212. 89,212. And then the tippy top of that, we've got, I'm going to go all the way up here, 91,048. And then the very bottom, we've got 87,770. And then the bottom of the bottom, we've got, I'm going to go all the way down here, 86,327. Billy said, I just got this. Okay. Ooh, all right, let's take a look. This is a good one from Philly. After 400 weeks of $50 DCA cash, you'd have $20,000. Gold, you'd have $38,864. Pretty good return. Bitcoin, you would have $148,707. This is why I stack Bitcoin. Nothing beats it over time. This is a sick chart. I like this. Beautiful. Guys, this is the whole time in the market beats timing the market. This is what we've been trying to talk about. Even if you get screwed, if you get completely destroyed, and you're stuck holding another year or even another cycle. Oh my gosh, you gotta wait 3 or 4 years. Imagine you have to wait 3 or 4 years, and you come out with what was that number? You come out with $150,000 or more, even more. 400 weeks is not that hard. 52 weeks in a year. 400 divided by 52, 7 years. Imagine just $50 a week for 7 years. We've already been here for most of us have already been here for like 4, so 7 would not be that hard. I'm just saying. Bitcoin, $88,569. Thank you for that, Philly. That was a good one. Dixie said, here before Zach or Evan, I'm a better friend. Dang, smash the like. All right. Bitcoin looks good. We got liquidation points above and below. Bitcoin dominance, 59.70. Hopefully this breaks down. We say it every single time. What's going on, Zero? How you doing, my friend? Happy Tuesday. So, Bitcoin dominance curling back up. Maybe we're going for a third hit. 1, 2, 3, and then a rejection. Like a proper rejection to the downside. That would be ideal, obviously. Yeah, let's see what we look like when we get to 60 again. Bitcoin itself up 1.53% on the day, currently trading at 88,569.76. We've got, this looks good actually. This is on the 4-hour, so it's strictly to the 4-hour. We got a bullish cross over the moving average and a support bounce off that moving average. So that looks good. We also got a green dot of the momentum wave on Market Cipher. Money flow has been consistently positive since December 20th, December 19th. So that looks good as well. ETH is up 1.17% on the day, currently trading at 29.72. Can we get above 3K? My little conspiracy brain wants to go, oh, they're keeping the price below 3K for whatever, reasons X, Y, and Z. But the other side of the conspiracy is that they have to keep it below that because there's so many buyers. So they're like trying to hold the doors closed on Black Friday, and everyone's plowing through the doors. Once we break through 3K, those doors are open. And the employees that held them shut, it's not looking good for them. That's such a weird analogy. ETH 29.72. Potential. So we got our bullish cross on the moving average on the RSI. Can we hold above it? That would be the ideal situation. Red dot on the momentum wave pointed to the downside, but money flow has remained positive Volume's picking up. As I said before, we're going to slowly trickle into higher volume as people return from their holiday weekends. Tomorrow is New Year's Eve. So after tomorrow, we should really start to see the difference. People like returning to their command centers with money, hopefully. We'll see what happens. John said the institutional buy orders set for January 1st must be epic. I've heard some things. I was actually it's very, very conspiracy, so don't blindly trade based off this information, but I did just look at this as the intro music was playing. I saw this from Fred Krueger. He said the phone call I just received confirms my suspicions. When January 1st rolls around, the buy orders are going to come in and break all barriers. Don't trust me, trust the billionaire who told me. Billionaires in January rallies? Name a more iconic duo. So that was interesting. Reese said you're fired. Dang. Does that mean you're gonna cut my pay? Do I still get all of my benefits? Alright. ETH looks good. Very flat, but it looks good. Did Jordan say bottom in October? Jordan was calling for some crazy stuff. That's why, it sucks being that guy, but I can never give a definitive answer for anything. I'm holding out hope for 2026 bull market, but I am aware that I could just as easily be wrong. Right now, we've entered a bear market. That is true. I'm not going to say we're not in a bear market. I think, personally, it's possible that everything got a little jumbled. We've been in a bear market. Bitcoin reached fair valuation, some random alts pumped, whatever, because it never really fit the bill for a proper bull market. But I also understand how batshit that sounds as well. Being like, well, technically, we didn't go into a bull market because of this reason. That sounds just as crazy as everybody else. If we blow up on the first, I will subscribe and super chat, but I'm sure you will be rich too, so F that, LOL. That'd be pretty cool. Billy said JY, he said that too. We'll get down action, then rallies, then more down action. We get a relief bounce and then go down until October. I don't know, man. No clue. According to that 4chan thing that was like dead on for October 6th top, we should be good to go by October 5th. That'll be the Pico bottom. Solana's up 1.28% on the day, currently trading at 124.86. Getting back above this neckline is going to be the most important thing. We're relatively at the same spot that we were last night, so there's not a whole lot to talk about. Money flow flipped negative for a hot second, but it's positive again. Green dot of the momentum wave point to the upside, and RSI trying to get back above the moving average. Upside is definitely possible. I want to get back above 130. Volume starting to trickle back in. Total threes up 0.63% on the day, currently trading at 834.06. This one's going to be a big deal to get back above that yellow trend line again as well. Zero said October 4th, the 4-year cycle one. Okay, is that the one? Yeah. JWaz Avenger said the Wall Street cheat sheet Jordan was saying we are in complacency. Let's actually look that up. Wall Street. Did he say that recently? I haven't watched Jordan's stuff in a long time. I miss the streams, man. I like shooting the shit with the boys. Alright, Jordan said we're in complacency. Let's see. Where do you guys think we're at? Actually, I'm going to do a poll. We're going to pick 4. We can either be in disbelief, hope. Well, no, I guess those are 2 bottoms. Complacency or, I guess, capitulation. Let's do those 4. Start poll. Where do you think we are? Wall Street cheat sheet. Okay. I'm gonna go with disbelief. Disbelief for the first one. Second one, complacency. Third option, capitulation, anger. Or depression. Okay, let's do that one. All right. Please direct your attention to the poll in the chat. Where do you think we are according to the Wall Street cheat sheet? Chart, disbelief, complacency, capitulation / anger, or depression. Zero said black screen. What the F? Is there a black screen? For me? Am I a black screen? Did I rug? I think I'm good. Y'all think the market maker is going to make it so easy? Everyone call the exact bottom? Right. That'd be crazy. That's what's crazy about the 4-year cycle being correct. Everyone expected that. Billy said, I want depression. I know we'll have crab action for about 1 year, but when will the true bottom come in? Yeah, I've been saying that in previous videos previously. Not recently. After he flipped bearish, he's been saying complacency, capitulation, anger, because 10 out of 10 was recent. Angie baby. Dude, Billy, if actually everyone, this is directed at everyone, if we are entering the bear market, which I've said this a million times before, I truly believe that we're about to make a ridiculous amount of money, because last bear market, I made more money than I made during this supposed bull market. I made more money DCAing and then that slow ramp up than I did during the bull market, like below off top of like the 2 or 3 coins that actually had like new all-time highs. Which, if that's the case, then the next bull market's going to be just as mediocre, I think. So, hopefully that's not true, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. They should just print a crap ton of money and just inject it into crypto. Billy said it took a screenshot of the cheat sheet. YouTube sent me a notification. We detect you took a screenshot. What? That's kind of creepy. Okay. Total 3. Let's see if we can get back above 850. We're at 834 right now. I would love to see 825 continue to hold. Yeah, my bearish target, if we do pull back, would be a reaction at 800, because we've already gotten that bounce off of that. And that was supposed to be like my bear market bottom, my bullish bear market bottom. And my bearish bear market bottom was what, 711? Hopefully, we don't go anywhere near that. Joe Adventure said, well, the reason most didn't make money because Solana and its meme coins was the bull run. I disagree. I think we would have seen that reflected in Total 3 or others' dominance. Zero said, Clint, 300-year strategy remains unbeaten. DCA, too bad, can't live long like him, right? Joe Adventure said 95% alts remain dead. John Tujo said, I just a shitload of flare just now. Got a good feeling about it. Oh, the coin. Okay. Let's go take a look at flare. How do we... Flare tether. Why did I know the ticker? That's actually awesome. Okay, X. Okay. Ooh, okay. Okay. Not too bad. Let's see. Can I draw a trend line here? I'm going to go right, bam, right there. Right? That doesn't look too bad. And then actually, let me zoom out a little bit more. Go to the daily, which means we get a dump hard per usual. I tried to play the silver thing. Let's see. Oh, it's going down again. Let's see if my silver buy sell cancel order short ends up printing or not. That's I kind of feel like I cheated. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, so there's no trend line to be really had from previous. Well, actually, that actually looks pretty good right there. That 1, 2, 3, and this happens to be the center of both. 1, 2, potentially 3. Okay, so let's leave that. I like that. Let's see if this bad boy pulls back to 9. It's at 1 penny right now. And no matter where you go, as long as you get a reaction here, you got potential for some daily bullish div, which would be sick. That daily bullish div would be huge. You have to close a green candle after this though, to get that reaction in order to establish that higher low, lower high situation, or lower low. Only problem with that is it just basically signals a shorter term time frame uptrend and a longer term downtrend. Uptrend for the RSI longer term. So that possibility is nice for short term price action. For long term price action, let me go to the 4 hour again. You are incredibly oversold on the 4 hour momentum wave. Money flow is negative, and you are just entering oversold on your RSI as well. So let's see some volume come back in. Let's see if you can get back above 12. Let's see, where else was I? Oh shoot. Daily close contest coming up in less than 1 minute. We got a little sidetracked. 1 minute time frame. Bitcoin 88,528. Guys, don't forget to smash the like button. Appreciate you guys for joining me. Daily close contest. JY's Adventure said, that's crypto Twitter thinks the ones that were unsuccessful. I can't read. I just give up. I give up completely. Hold on. Okay. That's crypto Twitter thinks the ones that were successful on trading Solana early and the memes says it was the best cycle ever, and if you didn't make it, it's a skill issue. That's what the more famous KOL said. Ansem, Thread Guy, Gainsey. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, get your guesses in for the daily close contest. Appreciate you guys for joining me. Chance for it went up to $300 every single day. It's a ton of fun. The issue that I have with Gainsey, Thread Guy, and Ansem is I bet you if you looked at their trades on chain, they sucked ass the past year. I bet you. And they probably made a ridiculous amount of money shilling garbage to their fans, whether or not it's registered or unregistered promotion. I don't think they really give a crap, to be completely honest. But I don't blindly trust any of those people. Any of the paid influencers, especially if they're strictly like X. YouTubers can be hit or miss. There's a bunch of good ones. There's a bunch of really crappy ones. I think that we're slowly migrating out of that age of just like paid promo, regurgitated garbage that unfortunately BitBoy was like the spearhead of. So that's nice. I still get emails though from like Blowfin. They're like, we want to do a deal. And I'm like, I don't even know you guys. They're like, your followers can get special promo stuff. I'm like, no, thank you. They can just, make money by not signing up for this junk. JY's Adventure. 88.5. Billy said, JJ, I'm not sure if I told you, the hot water on demand thing, the D-cell battery is what creates the spark to light the flames. That's actually sick. I didn't see that. JY's Adventure said, Ansem had 1% of WIF supply and held to 5 billion, so of course it was the best cycle ever. That's like 50 million. Didn't he get his ass kicked by BitBoy too? Down to Joe, 88,600.69. JY's Adventure said maybe he took profits on the way up, but definitely made millions on WIF, as with other. That's what I mean. Like, they have all this reach, so all they gotta do is be like, oh, WIF looks cool. And then it goes up, 200-300%. And they're like $5,000 that they DCA'd in is suddenly worth 50 grand or whatever. It doesn't take much when you have that big of a reach. And if you have no morals, you're just totally okay with effing your fans. Let's see, we've got 2 minutes and 30 seconds remaining on the clock for you guys to get your guesses in for the daily close contest. As I said before, chance for you to win up to $300. All you gotta do is guess what you think the Bitcoin daily close price is going to be on the Binance USDT chart. Bitcoin currently trading at 88,527.77 cents. I think I am experiencing minor heartburn. Yeah, I know what WIF is. Dog with that. That is pretty cool. I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, I wouldn't have done that, because if I had 1% of anything and it went up and I had $50 million, I'm at least taking like 5 million out. You know what I mean? So, plus the free market. I think Obviously, if somebody lies, you can judge them. But if somebody just makes money because they bought and sold, why are you mad at them? That's the weirdest thing in the world. Let's see. We've got 1 minute and 31 seconds remaining on the clock. Bitcoin currently trading at 88,500. Get your guesses in for the daily close contest. It's completely free to play. And you could win $300. Today, I am back on chai latte. Oh, delicious. JY's Venture, I disagree. And if that was the bull run, then something is seriously wrong. Because there is not nearly as much money in the market as there was. We've got 53 seconds remaining on the clock for you guys to get your guesses in. With Popcat, Goat, Mudang, Bowden, Fwog, Bonk, Pepe. See, then my issue there, again, is with others' dominance. And total 3 would have hit new all-time highs. Like, crazy all-time highs. I understand the argument. I just don't think that that's the case. Especially when you look at the market cap ratio. Because it wasn't like they were putting billions of dollars in liquidity in those coins. There just wasn't that much money. The order books were thin. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time's up. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for participating in the daily close contest. Let's get these bad boys up on the board. Bitcoin 88,506. We've got 88,669 from John Tujo. And then we've got Tom Selleck-Scote with 88,530. And last but not least, we've got 88,500 from JY's Venture. Oh, geez. Hacking the mainframe. I apologize. I'm sorry you guys had to see that. JY's Venture currently in the lead with his guess of 88,500 Bitcoin. Current price, 88,506. JY's Venture said, but I agree. But I agree it was a weak bull run, so we shouldn't expect a typical bear market. Oh, yeah. I mean, that's where the whole this time is different argument actually comes into play. Like, no matter what way you try to frame it, if we like had a proper bull market or we're entering the bear market now, it is different no matter what. We did not have a typical bull market, so we should not expect a typical bear market. That's actually the perfect way to frame that. 100%. Let's see. Let me check the poll. Currently we have 7 votes. 14% said disbelief. 14% said complacency. 57% said capitulation/anger, and 14% said depression. Interesting. Very interesting. So majority of you guys are saying capitulation, anger. Okay, so you guys think we're bottom. I actually like that. I like that a lot. Tom Selleck-Scote taking the lead, 88,532 on the Bitcoin price. JY's Venture said, Jordan says it's not different. It's the same thing. If it was the same thing, then we would have experienced euphoria, blow off top, and like altcoin mania. So it's not the same. It's the same timing. If that's the case. But definitely not the same. If you say it's the same and you insist that it's the same, then you're stupid. Because it's not. It's completely different. Completely different. JY's Venture taking the lead. 88,500 is his guess. Current price 88,523 and 10 cents. Tom Selleck-Scote said Jordan said 10 trillion market cap. Jordan said Link would be the biggest coin ever. Yeah, I feel like he's not a reliable source of information. I love the guy. I still miss the streams, but JY's Venture said, and if we go into a bear market, new all-time high will be 180K from 40 to 50K. Weak returns? No. See, that makes sense. That goes into the whole extended market diminishing returns. If, and I've said this already before, I'm going to continue to say it. if 2026 outperforms 2025, I am going to be the most insufferable mother effer on the planet. You guys are going to hate me. I'm gonna tell everybody how right I was and how wrong and stupid they are. Non-stop. You're gonna have to change the channel name to like JJ's pompous narcissist corner. Bitcoin 88,523 and 11 cents. We've got 1 minute and 13 seconds remaining on the clock. What's it gonna be? It's gonna be a close one. Very interesting. Right now it's a fight to the death between JY's Avenger and Tom Selleck's Goat. Very, very interesting stuff. Let's get a little zoom action here. This might be a really entertaining daily close. JY's Avenger has a small gap. Tom Selleck's Goat has a medium gap, and John Tujo has the biggest gap of them all. Bitcoin 88,511 and 55 cents. Interesting. It's getting a little dumpy here. JY's Avenger really taking the lead. 38 seconds remaining. This is the candle that will determine the fate of our winner. Are we going to get a pump, a dump, a little flatline action, maybe a little ball tickle? 88,506 and 29 cents at the moment. Could this be our first $300 winner? Like I said, that would be pretty epic before the new year. 88,506 and 29 cents. Oh my gosh, now suddenly no one is in the lead. What's it going to be? 88,485 and 49 cents. 10 seconds remaining on the clock. Holy cow. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, there it is, ladies and gentlemen. Nobody has won the daily close contest. Everyone was just too bullish. Bitcoin's daily close price was 88,485.49. 88,485.49. 88,485.49. Congratulations, nobody, on your victory. Dang. All right. Well, I guess I get to save the daily close price for one more day. Congratulations, nobody. Appreciate you guys for participating. Y'all were just too dang bullish. We were getting a little too much copium. I apologize. I will take partial blame for too much copium. $88,485.49. Congratulations, nobody. All right, let's transition. Oh, excuse me. Okay. JY's Adventure said, but that means Bitcoin isn't worth it anymore. Better buy tech stocks, LMAO. This cycle and video outperformed Bitcoin. Why would I buy Bitcoin at this point then? LOL. Congrats to nobody. See, I also see that argument. I think it's going to be a really big hurdle for Bitcoin to get over that whole, like, well, it's not really worth it for the little guy to invest in it anymore. And it might never. It might never get over that hurdle. It's like buying gold. Like, the return is safe and it's whatever, blah, blah, blah. But is it really worth waiting? I think I'd rather just take the risk on something more risky. And that's what we're going to see. Maybe with altcoins, maybe with gambling prediction markets, maybe with stocks. The stock market, silver outperformed Bitcoin in the post-halving year. So where are all the Ben Cowens that go, oh, Bitcoin bull market tops out in the year after the halving? Because Bitcoin's going to be closing 2025 red. That doesn't sound like a bull market to me. I'm just saying. Sue me. JY's Venture said, well, to fix it, the market makers better pump that ish. You right? I mean, yeah, I agree 100%. They need it to, like, capture a very good chunk of market cap. Which maybe that'll happen. Maybe the Fed is going to come in and be like, we're going to buy Bitcoin for whatever reason. And then everyone's going to go, oh my gosh, we need to buy Bitcoin. And then they're all going to go buy. Then the Fed's going to buy it. It's going to pump. And everything's going to go back to normal. Right now, though, my little copium brain, where I'm like, ooh, I still want there to be a bull market. I don't want to wait 3 more years because that sucks. Likes the idea of the liquidity cycle in the plus 1.5 years that the Fed added to their debt rebalancing and all that junk. I like all of that. All of that math jives in my brain. all of the work, like numbers line up, the dates line up, everything makes sense. And it makes this confusing, not so bull market year make sense as well. Because right now, in the normal bull market world, where I'm like, oh, the 4-year cycle, whatever, it doesn't make sense. Bitcoin closing red in a post-halving year for the 4-year cycle does not make sense. It just doesn't. And that's where the whole "this time is different" thing comes into play. And people that disagree with that are just wrong and stupid and blind. Okay. Total 3. I think we talked about this for a moment. ADA is down 0.28% on the day. Still struggling to get above 36. It's going to be a big deal getting back above that. For now, we're probably looking for a touch of 33.93. We'll see what happens, though. SNEC is trying. SNEC is trying to hold above 9. It's currently sitting at 9.563. Can we get back above 10? That would be ideal. JY's Venture said the market makers acting like money that big a deal when people under 25 become millionaires super fast. Let the traders win for F's sake. I also like Fahid's argument where he thinks most of retail went to prediction markets, because that kind of makes sense as well. Midnight down 0.78% on the day. So this thing pumped and dumped, and then it's retracing that dump. Very, very nice. I like this. I was skeptical at first. Seemed like maybe a cash grab, but people seem to like the tech, and I'm not a tech guy, but I'll buy some if it means I'm going to make some money. And if the tech is great later on, then cool. But I'm not going to sit here and pretend like, oh my gosh, I'm buying this for the tech. Buying it doesn't benefit the tech, so buying it for the tech is the stupidest thing in the world. Sorry. But I'm going to see more volume. This is just specific to OKX. I like the retrace. The retrace of the dump is very nice. XRP currently sitting at 187.67, down 0.05 since the daily close. We are very nicely holding 184. I would like to continue to see strength at 184. We had positive money flow for a hot second. It is now negative again. Green dot on the momentum wave, point to the upside. We got a bullish cross over the moving average in the RSI for the short-term time frame. Let's see if that continues to play out, or if we end up pulling back towards 184 once more. H-bar, not a whole lot going on here. Like I said before, potential double bottom, Adam and Eve. We'll see how that plays out. You can't really make the argument really anymore, to be honest. I don't know. Is it going to just be a triple bottom, maybe? That's possible. We'll see what happens. We got to confirm red dot on Market Cipher. Positive money flow. RSI, or momentum wave just crossed negative. Red dot there, still in play, and a bearish cross over the moving average on the RSI, pointing to the downside. SWE is down 0.14% on the day. This thing's been trading between 140 and 148 pretty consistently. I guess I would look for a little triple bottom thing here too. Hearing some potential bullish news on SWE, or I guess bullish rumors is what I should say, about them like releasing some update for like privacy transactions, which I think could be a good like pump catalyst, because people like privacy right now. Look at Zcash and Monero. Those are like two of the only, I believe we have it in the news segment. Privacy coins and exchange coins were the only positive narratives for crypto in 2025. That's crazy. So let's see what happens. All right. Joe Wise Adventure said that just means the real whales are buying all the dead crypto markets while most went to other markets. It's just how long will it take for them to pump it? They're already rich, so they can keep it trash for years. See, I don't think they'll do that, though, because then nobody will want to touch it. I don't know. All the conspiracy crap mixing in with like the reasonable things in my brain makes me not want to talk about it. Because I don't like talking about the conspiracy junk, because it sounds like a cop-out, and it makes me feel like I'm cheating myself out of like reality, and I don't want to cheat myself out of reality. We're gonna skip a bunch. Arrow could use some more volume and definitely some upside. This thing's getting destroyed right now. Fartcoin is just continues to be hilarious, makes me laugh, and I like it when people don't like it because it's Fartcoin. Avalanche still struggling to get back above its legacy trend line. We have this descending channel that we're definitely in right now. Can we get some legs to break back above our legacy trend line here and start trading above it again, because that's a big deal being below it. I don't like being below it at all. You know, it's not a lot. 4, 5%, 6%. That still seems like a lot, but it's really not. Let's get back above this important legacy trend line and stop looking so crappy. We do have a confirmed red dot on market cipher, green dot on the momentum wave, money flow is positive, and gearing up for a potential bullish cross over the moving average on the RSI. It sucks, but it's reality. They can wait until 2027, 2028. See, what is that, though? Another year? Big whoop. I will wait. I will happily wait 1 year. But, if 2026 does not have any semblance of positivity, I'm probably going to be a pissy little asshole. We're going to go heavy into like stock investments or something really stupid and boring. We're going to build like a really safe business where you guys are going to see a video that's going to be like day 1 of applying for my CPA or something. Something just really stupid. No offense, if you're a CPA and you like your job, you shouldn't care what I think anyways, so. Okay, anyways, yeah, Avalanche really needs to get back above 13.25. Chainlink down 0.32% on the day, currently trading at 12.38. Let's hold above 12.39 would be ideal, but we've already broken below it a million times, so nobody really cares except for me. Let's see if we do break down. Can we hold maybe above our median? Let's stay above 12. Bearish target, bullish target. Let's get above 12.68. JY's Adventure said 1 year of me being the only one in chats. Yeah. We'll find some bots at that point. Maybe I'll spend like $5 a month on some chat bots. They'll be like, "Hello, JY's Adventures. How was your weekend?" That's all they say. And then you're like, "Oh, it was pretty good. I did this, this, and that." They'll be like, "Weekend was your how? Hello?" They just jumble the words around to make it seem like they're having a different conversation. All right, we talk about Chainlink. Did we? Yeah. I want to stay above 12. For bearish case, bullish case, let's get above 12.68. Silver. Silver down 1.55% on the day. Should I increase my silver short holdings? I should have done it earlier. Dang it. What do we think? What do we think? What do we think? Maybe it's a little too risky. I'm gonna take a breather. Because it might go up. Who knows? It might go up. I think I get a little too excited on the short-term time frame. I'm really bad at doing long-term time frame stuff. Another YouTuber I watch barely getting anyone in his streams. I mean, that's the way that it is right now, dude. It's crazy. There are people who have like established larger subscriber bases who get like a couple hundred. If they're really lucky, they get like over 1,000. But the entirety of crypto YouTube right now is dead. It is completely dead. And that makes me feel okay about my audience. Not that I had a huge audience to begin with. I appreciate all of you guys that show up. I kind of like having a smaller audience because I feel like I can talk to you guys. And the market's not going anywhere right now, so it's not like I'm going to be making $1 million off of YouTube, you know. If 1,000 people show up one day, I don't think it's going to make that big of a difference. I think I'd rather have a personable experience with my audience right now. Ben Cowan, the only one getting good viewership still. I've seen there's guys getting good viewership. Like I said, people with nicely established subscriber bases, they still get pretty decent views. But yeah, the metrics are down across the board for sure. If you look at Ben Cowan's numbers from 2021 till now, he's probably getting way less views. But maybe not. Maybe his subscriber count like quadrupled since then, and he's getting 25% of normal, and maybe normal is huge. Risk It 101 said, "Can you track volume and others/alts?" Oops. Others dominance. Volume has been consistently trading down since like November. Going back even further, maybe July. Yeah, we peaked in July. Like we got really crappy volume April, better volume May, June, July, August looked really good. July, August, September, October, November, December. Yeah, see? So April we had tariffs. Everyone was scared, and then everyone got a little more comfortable, and then they got a lot more comfortable, and then October 10th happened. And all of a sudden, there's no volume for alts. So, regardless of whether or not something broke, even if nothing broke, let's say nothing broke, that event alone was probably enough to scare a lot of people. The coin that you put money into literally like went to zero, pretty much. If you're new and October 10th happens, like within the first year of you investing, you probably literally watched that and went, fuck this, crypto's a scam. And I would not blame somebody for thinking that. Reset double fired. All right, let's see. Yeah, others dominance struggling. All right, silver. We got a potential double top scenario going on here. And before we didn't really have a double top. Before we had a little head and shoulder action. But gold did have a double top. What's going on, Derek? What's going on, Reese? So let's go look at gold really quick. I wish I could split screen. Gold. Yeah, look at gold back here. Nice little textbook double top. Silver, as of right now, looking like a nice little textbook double top. So let's see if 77 was my target, which is kind of crazy. Let's see if we get a pullback, and if we do, are we going all the way back to 52? Or is this trend line going to become relevant? Let's extend it out here. And maybe we get a pullback over the course of the next month. Maybe over the course of the next 2 weeks. A pullback all the way down to 53. That'd be kind of crazy. I would not be surprised to see that, but I also wouldn't be surprised to see it do a little fake out scenario, one of these, and then boom. And then when you actually, in hindsight, measure it, you'll be like, oh my gosh, this is a giant flag. And everyone's going to be like, oh my gosh, I wish I would have noticed that. Because for some reason, silver's just on a monstrous run. Derek said, when we get in that pump? I don't know. Hopefully in January. Allegedly, January 1st is going to be monumental. Derek said, okay, see you later then. Take it easy, Derek. Oh, JY's Adventure said, apparently we have a year. I didn't say that. I did not say that. JY's Adventure spreading FUD. All right. Yeah, silver. I don't know. That'd be pretty fun if my short printed. But I'm also not blind to the fact that silver has had a monstrous rally. And it would not be surprising if it just kind of liquidated my shorts. I think that'd be actually kind of funny. DXY up 0.21. That's true. That is true, JWaz Adventure. My bad. My bad. I didn't say that you said that I said that. I was just specifying that I didn't say that. All right. All the top KOLs are saying that, like Ben Cowan and Jordan Cameron. See, what kills me about Cowan is he was the one that always preached extending cycle, diminishing returns, which would argue the extending cycle part literally argues that the cycle is going to take longer to play out. So him suddenly being a 4-year cycle maxi kind of irks me. That's my entire opinion. God said got him. Derek said, I blame Somalia. Dude, I've been cracking up about the Somalia thing. I have a little rant video that I haven't published yet, but I think I'm going to publish it. Why? Everyone's like, oh my gosh, that's messed up. There's like huge oversight. These people were able to fraudulently take this money. The Somalian daycare money, they took it, even though they didn't really like run a daycare. And I'm sitting here thinking, I'm like, why was there money available for them to take? Now, as a American human being who was born in America, or even just somebody who's naturalized, whatever, who becomes an American citizen legally, I believe you are entitled to assistance via daycare if you cannot afford it. Daycare is expensive, so I understand it. If you are a single parent and you can't afford it, the state or the federal government should pay for daycare, sure. If you are married and you are like lower income, the state or the federal government should pay for daycare. I'm totally okay with that. If you are a individual from Somalia or any other country on the planet that is not the United States of America, why the fuck is any of my tax money paying for you to put your kid in a daycare and go to work? Why the fuck does that, how does that benefit me at all? How on earth does a foreign person putting their kid in daycare and getting a job, taking a job from an American, if we're going to go that route, we're going to lean fully into it, how does that benefit any American taxpayers at all whatsoever? Why is there money allocated to Somalian daycares at all for them to fraudulently take? We need to get to the root cause of the problem. Like the incompetence that led to this, sure, fix that. But I don't want my tax money paying for, Joe Blow from Somalia or Mexico or Germany or South Africa or China or Russia or anywhere outside of the United States. I don't want to pay for your child care while you steal American jobs. Now, the counter argument to that is they're not stealing American jobs. That's totally fine. But if they can't have a job in America and pay for their own child care, then they need to figure out something else for their children. I think it's stupid. It's the stupidest thing I've ever heard of. Risket said, it's no surprise that BRICS are and other sovereign countries. JWaz Adventure said, sorry, JJ, we are cattle that pay our taxes and smile happy and own nothing, while scammers get richer and richer. Sorry, that's just how it is. It is. It really is. Reese said, damn, your channel is getting canceled. Yeah, that's probably true. Risket said, favors for foreign arrangements. It's just silly to me, dude. It doesn't make any sense. Like, I'm all for people coming here and getting work and whatever, but if you cannot afford childcare, then you cannot afford childcare. I'm not going to pay for your childcare. Sorry. Get a wife or something. Or pay for a babysitter like literally everybody else does. My taxes should not cover your shortfalls. If you are an American, sure. They can get all the benefits that they need. Charity starts at home. Our benefits should not be going to foreign people babysitters. It's bullshit. DXY. There's a trend line here that it hasn't even gotten to yet. I'm a little frightened because this is I think somebody pointed out forever ago on X, this is like a 14-year-old trend line. Yeah, it goes back to 2011. So, getting a little spooky. Hopefully it breaks below this and we can get some moonage on alts, but whatever. Derek said if Asmongold hasn't gotten canceled yet, I think you are fine. My favorite thing in the world is people trying to go after him because I didn't even know the guy that much. I just recently started watching anything that he does. And people are like, Asmongold is racist. Asmongold is homophobic. And I watch their argument and then I watch his video, the full context, and I'm like, when did he say anything racist or homophobic? And he never does. He always makes reasonable arguments like what I just said. And they'll come out and they'll be like, he's a racist because he doesn't want to give money to Somalian daycares. He doesn't want to give American taxpayer dollars to Somalian daycares. What a racist piece of crap. Oh my god, dude, it's so funny. It cracks me up. He's the most level-headed, reasonable person on the planet. And everyone's like, oh, what an asshole. He's such a meanie head. Cracks me up, dude. There's never been a better argument for the stupidity of the human race than people trying to cancel him for no reason. That's like someone being like, I'm not a big fan of Starbucks. And they're like, you terrorist bastard. Dead serious. Been hitting my feet a lot lately. Oh, yeah, dude, he's blowing up. I love it. I love it. He was more gamer before? That's crazy. We will document It's Journey to Billions, and I'll send you a big dono. Oh, real Gary Tan. Let's go check a real Gary Tan. Real Gary Tan is up 10.15% on the day. Against Zora. Yeah, dude, this thing is cranking. It's weird because you got the pump and dump, the pump and big fat retrace, the pump and dump again, but it was like a really long-term retrace dump. So it's like a combination of these two. And then this one's a hybrid, again, a pump, a grind up, and then a grind down, and then a grind up and a grind down. And then this one so far has been a pump. What's it going to turn into? Is it going to be a flag? Is it going to be a chop dump? I don't know. There's like every single chart pattern possible of playing out one at a time here. What was it? There was a bunch of stuff a couple weeks ago where they launched the coin and then they like spelled the word dog with the candles or something like that. Those were really popular for a minute. It was kind of fun. What would be crazy though is if somebody like found the coin when it launched and bought and sold and like messed it up while they were trying to do it. Maybe they might have just like programmed a bot to like do it right away. Oh, okay. Real Gary Tan, looking good. RSI looks good. Nothing, no red flags. I thoroughly enjoy the 782 sellers, clearly selling like 50 cents worth, and then the 479 people with like more than $5 just burying them. Because the price has clearly gone up. It's pretty funny. It's pretty damn funny. Okay. DXY we talked about. Strategy. Getting, I was going to say getting a little bit of green, but I don't think it is. It's up 0.14% on the day, which is great. Can the devs do something? Can the devs do something? Strategy is in like desperate need of not downside. Because it right now, in my opinion, kind of just looks like a scam. I'm not going to lie. Like, again, and I hope one day there's going to be someone in the chat that can tell me, JJ, you're an idiot. This is why anyone would ever want to buy strategy. But right now, why the hell would I ever want to own this? I can't see a reason. It doesn't make any sense to me. It just seems like a meme to me. But again, it does look like it might be setting up a bottom here. So I'll keep my mouth shut for a little bit longer. NASDAQ. Pullback potentially over soon here. And by over, I mean like maybe we can go a little bit of sideways. I don't know. We'll see. I'm most frightened for like January 15th because if this happens, if we get a little, let's say we get a little bit upside and then we get a dump and then we get a nice recovery like this, upside dump recovery, and then we dump further, people are going to lose their minds there. And that's usually where the bottom happens when you set up the lower low. If we do this, and then it goes boop, just a little bit lower, and then it goes way up and then higher, right here, just before this takeoff, people are going to open shorts. Right here, people are going to open like crazy shorts because they're going to be like, oh my gosh, it's a lower low. It's over. But nobody ever zooms out. Maybe stock market's different. They probably don't, trade the 15-minute frame on the stock market. So maybe it won't be that bad. But the concept is still real. Very real. S&P 500 looking good. The Asphractal 3.0 is absolutely gorgeous. Look at that. Ooh. That'd be pretty sick if we saw a big fat spike to the upside tomorrow. I'm not gonna move it though. I like it where it's at. So let's see if tomorrow we get a big fat spike to the upside. I want to see this. That'd be pretty sick. Time will tell. Tomorrow is New Year's Eve. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, I will be here on New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. Just the same as I was for Christmas. So make sure you guys smash the like button, subscribe if you are new. Today we got a little bit controversial, a little bit political. But if you're offended, that's not my problem. Probably get thicker skin. Congratulations, nobody, once again, on your victory for the daily close contest. Let's go to the news segment. Gosh, I really want dominance to break down. We've got the overnight repo market. Fed injected $16 billion into the banking system via overnight repo, the second biggest since 2020. In 2019, this exact scenario triggered $255 billion in emergency liquidity, followed by $6 trillion in quantitative easing after the pandemic conveniently appeared. Ignore the noise because this is how every major liquidity cycle begins. Ladies and gentlemen, again, not financial advice, I will become insufferable prick if 2026 ends up being a crazy bullish year. Whale alert, $1 billion US minted at the Tether Treasury. I genuinely believe that stablecoins are just going to grow exponentially for forever. Riskit said, my estimate is no volume tomorrow. I don't know. I feel like we've had no volume for quite some time anyways. One of the craziest charts is the Coinbase Bitcoin chart. And it's obscure, you know, it's a very specific chart, but look at this, dude. If we are bottomed, then we're looking at a potential spike around January 6th, January 7th, which is when everyone says, you know, stuff's going to get spicy. So that'd be pretty cool if that happened. But check this out. Right back here. You see this? See this complete lack of volume? Like there's spiky, 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 and then it goes just completely flat. See all this down here? This exact date where shit hits the fan is April 1st. Right here. That is April 1st. Do you know what happened on April 1st? April 1st? Actually, I think it was April 2nd. April 2nd was Liberation Day, where tariffs were imposed. Trade tariffs were imposed. So, if the can got kicked down the road, one of my copium arguments would be that it was because of tariffs. People are afraid to trade because tariffs sucked all the liquidity out of the market. And if you're like, well, where's your proof? My proof is right here. Look at this. Beautiful liquidity. It starts to get a little bit thinner, and then it's gone. Literally, like night and day difference right there. Huge difference. Crazy. Let's see. JY's Avenger said, there's nobody here. We are the retail. All 5 of us. All I know is that I will be rewarded for trying to trade this trash market. Definitely will hit 1 million whenever market gets bullish. Then I'm going to Japan to a love hotel. Ew. I guess at least you didn't say like, oh shoot, what's the place where there's a bunch of lady boys? It's not Taiwan, right? It's Thailand. I'm sorry. Wow, that was probably incredibly problematic. My bad. At least you didn't say Thailand. Which, if you did, that's totally fine. You know, some people like ladyboys. That's okay. No judgment. Okay, news segment. Amazon AWS CEO says, this is great. This is what I've been saying. He says, replacing young employees with AI is one of the dumbest ideas and bad for business. At some point, the whole thing explodes on itself. And that is what I've been trying to say. If a population, if like a good percentage of the population gets replaced with AI, these companies that are saving so much money from like not employing these people are going to start losing even more money because no one's going to have work to be able to buy their product. You know what I mean? JO's next adventure is buying panties from the vending machine in Japan. Dude, I wonder if those vending machines would be a good investment. Should we set one up in America? The first ever. There's no way it's the first ever. I wonder, do they have anything like that in Vegas? I guess Vegas you wouldn't need panties. You could just buy women. J-Red's Adventure said CZ did say 2026 will be a super cycle. He said it could be one. I don't know. I'm telling you guys, if I'm right, I'm going to be such an insufferable prick. Okay, Binance founder CZ says Bitcoin and crypto will be fine. He said, was semi-offline for a few days, busy with year-end, book, family, etc. Bitcoin will be fine. BNB will be fine. CZ will be fine. Crypto will be fine. Happy New Year. I like that he made sure to remind you that he has so much more money than you by saying CZ will be fine. Like, if I had $1 billion, I would be fine as well. I'm just saying. Of course CZ is going to be fine. When you've made your money in crypto, you don't panic. MetaPlanet buys another 4,279 Bitcoin worth $375 million. They now hold 35,102 Bitcoin worth $3 billion. CZ controls the crypto market. It's clear. Him and his market maker friends subliminally letting us know. That's one of my favorite things is when Trump, like, straight up was like, the stock market's going to do good tomorrow. And the stock market does good. And, like, all of the people that don't like him were like, that's insider trading. And he legit, like, the day before told everyone to buy. That was, like, one of my favorite things that has happened so far this year. I'm like, that's the opposite, actually. That's outsider trading. He literally told everyone what was going to happen, and it happened. Everyone, which means there was no unfair disadvantage. Everyone had the same opportunity. The guy said, number will go up tomorrow. And the angry people were like, I'm not going to buy that scam. What a scam. And then the number went up, and everyone was like, oh, I didn't buy. That's insider trading. Oh. That's what happens every time, man. Every single time. Riskett said universal basic income. Honestly, I have no objections against that either. When you look into modern monetary policy and you have the tinfoil hat that I have, where you just think that money is like made up and they do all this political theater, and Powell is like anti-Trump and Trump is like, Powell's an idiot. And then everyone's like, oh, the dollar must have value because they're going through all this trouble and arguments and unpleasantness because of it. In reality, you know, Trump and Powell are probably chumming it up in the jacuzzi every night at Mar-a-Lago, like, these idiots continue to fall for it. Look at the DXY, it's not falling anymore. Let's print some more, you know. Pickle Rick said, what's up, JJ? Today is my 11 years clean. I saw that in the Discord. Congratulations, Pickle Rick. Cheers. Hell yeah. That's the way to do it. All right. Can I share a clip of CZ saying 2026 could be a super cycle? I sent in Discord. Will I bet against the person that controls the market? All right, in the Discord. All right, I'm gonna play it. Hold on, I gotta turn up your guys' volume so that you guys can hear it.
Don't quote me on this, but I think that force will be quite strong. So that force may be strong enough to offset the 4-year cycle. Who knows?
Yeah. So you're saying next year bull market?
We may be seeing a super cycle. Wow. So we'll see. Yeah. I'm not sure. Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah. Don't quote me on.
Hell yeah. There's great arguments for both sides, but I like the argument that CZ knows what the hell he's talking about, what the hell he's doing, and then he's just doing a Trump where he's like telling everyone what's going to happen and no one's going to believe him because they're going to be so pessimistic because they lost, 50-60% of their portfolio. No Ben Cowan, no Jordan Cameron. I will not leave and come back October 2026. Right. Right. See, I don't know. I don't see the appeal in leaving. I don't. And the risk reward, the selling, my brain cannot comprehend like fully exiting the market ever, especially if I haven't gotten the returns that I want. If I haven't gotten the returns that I want, then that money is just sitting there. It's going to be sitting there anyways. So I'm just going to continue to accumulate the way that I am. And I can perfectly time it, whatever. Oh, if I sold at 126 and bought back now, I'd have so much more. Yeah, no shit. Did you do that? Then shut up. Okay. 87% chance that the Federal Reserve does not lower interest rates in January, according to Polymarket. I have officially set up a Kalshi account, and I will be betting against the people that are saying we're not going to get a rate cut. I'm probably going to lose because usually by the time I wisen up to like situations, it's too late. So I'm going to be the retail for this situation as well. And I'm going to bet that they are going to decrease interest rates. Next we've got NVIDIA in advanced talks to acquire Israeli generative AI firm AI21 Labs for $2 billion to $3 billion. That's pretty crazy. This one cracked me up. Mexico is straight up just copy-pasting Trump's methods. Mexico to raise tariffs by up to 35% on Chinese imports starting Thursday. Mexico to raise tariffs by up to 35% on imports from India starting this week. Both of those, I was like, what? Elon Musk tells X to increase creator payouts to compete with YouTube. Here's my issue with that. I cannot figure out how to stream to Twitter. I did it like 4 times in the past, and I still have not been able to fix it since. All right, let's see. JMS Adventure said, what do you think the people in stables are going to do if we move to new all-time highs? Just FOMO back in? I don't know. That's a great question. Probably. I think if Bitcoin gets back above 100K, everyone's going to flip the switch. They're going to be like, oh, I was wrong. We're in the bull market again. It does not take that much to flip everybody. Tishu said rate cut is coming. I just got a cut to one of my HYSA. Interesting. Ooh, okay. I'm taking the Kalshi bet though. So it tells me right now if I buy $100, I'm correct, then I will get like $654. I think I'm gonna put $100 in. Is that crazy? That seems like a lot of money. JY's Adventure said getting 5 million impressions for 3 months is tough. For what? X or for YouTube? YouTube wasn't too bad. For X, I don't know. I pay for premium, so I don't know if you need to do anything special for impressions there. If you're a reply guy, you can get pretty high pretty quick. I've gotten payouts from X. Nothing crazy though. It's always like pennies. It's not worth it because there's too many bots, dude. There's way too many bots. All right. Zelensky says he is ready for any format of meeting with Putin. Pay close attention to the white coffee accumulation. Trade accordingly. When we test the resistance levels, we will know if we have a accumulation to distribution transition or a Binance leverage flush into spring. Probability is high they play the same playbook as April 2025 accumulation attached. Interesting. So we got 1, 2, 3 hits the downside continuation. That third hit is a lower low. Actually, each one is a lower low, it seems like. And then 1, 2, 3. Ooh, that actually looks pretty damn perfect. And that, I think, is the fractal that we have. Yes, it absolutely is. March, April, spring. Oh my gosh. It's kind of perfect. But that is, I think, calling for something like this, which would put us in January. Saturday, January 3rd for like really, really low. That's going to go significantly lower if that's the case. That would be crazy. Excuse me while I open up a trade that I'm probably going to leave open for the foreseeable future. Okay. Yeah, that'd be interesting. Should I leave this moved? I kind of like it because we got this spike right here as that first spike. The second one was this, which is actually a higher low. Interesting. So the third one, if that's going to happen, then what if we saw Bitcoin hit 79K on January 3rd? Would that be crazy? Pickle Rick said, talk to you later, bro. Got the notification you were on. Had to come say hi and leave a like. A steakhouse with the family. Enjoy the steakhouse, my friend. Cheers. Happy Tuesday. JY's Adventure said, Monad TA, please, and add my baby to the watch list. JY's Adventure, I did confirm my wallet. It is my Phantom wallet. And I did receive the 1 Monad from you. Monad Mainnet is live. Got it. And 1 Monad, 1 Monad. Where is it? Right here. Yep. Yeah, I got it. So it was my Phantom wallet, and I did successfully gain access to that again. Okay. Bitcoin 4-hour zoom in 88,353 and 13 cents is Tishu said is STX still a good buy? Let's go take a look at STX really quick. Used, whoops. That was kind of quite a typo, wasn't it? STX. So you got your rejection at your yellow trend line. Orange trend line, whatever you're gonna call it, 26-ish, and you've since come down. You got a little So I could see this being a little lower low double bottom situation. You want to hold 25. If you break below it, it's going to get dicey. If you stay above it, great. You got a little double bottom action going on right here. If you get a third one, that could technically be a fugly inverse head and shoulder. So like I said, hold above 25 and then we can talk. Money flows positive, red dot of the momentum wave, almost bottomed out. RSI looks good. Might have some potential here for sure. Do we have room to put Monad on the list? Oh, okay, hold on. What am I getting rid of? What chunk on here do we not look at? Oh, I feel bad. Do we get rid of like Ondo? No, I feel like nobody looks at Pith. I'm gonna just get rid of it. Alright, KuCoin. Bam. Is this a good chart? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Is this the one that we've been looking at? Nope. Hold on, let me. Is it MonUSD Coinbase? Yeah, okay, let's do that one. Let's do that one. Oops. MonUSD Coinbase. Bam. Okay. And we are going to put her right above Pengu. Right above Doge. Right above Pengu. I like it above Pengu. Let's do Pengu. Okay. Monad TA up 0.97% on the day. This actually looks good. And you know what I see? I'm not a big fan of the pattern, but the cup and handle, a lot of people like to trade cup and handle. I see inverse head and shoulder, which textbook played out beautifully. Your target was hit. It was pretty much this. You're getting your retest of the neckline, which is resulting in a little double bottom, little W retest. So getting above 23.22 is going to be a big deal. Get above that. And then get above 25.67, and then we can start talking about further upside. Right now, those are your two main resistance levels. Chart looks great. Money flows positive. You got a green dot of the momentum wave point to the upside. Bullish cross over the moving average and the RSI. Continuation of the upside. Literally, I'm doing the opposite of crypto Twitter when it comes to Monad. That's actually probably really smart. Honestly, everyone hates it, so I bought it. That's kind of what happened with Fartcoin, dude. They like perpetuate marketing with their hate. It kind of cracks me up. It's really funny too when everyone's like, "I hate this," and then the coin performs really well, because then you know that they're just fuming, and it's just rent free. All right, David. We got another post from David, which was I think Marty Party like reposted this. The $119,000 magnet. Why Bitcoin will not stay down. Bitcoin isn't weak, it's constrained. 1. The macro value per the power law corridor. We are 25% undervalued. Current price 89,200. Trend value 119,300. Status cheap. The micro friction. So why no breakout? Dealer hedge market makers are pinned long hedge at 90K. This forces them to sell strength and buy dips, mechanically suppressing volatility. The outlook, this is a healthy accumulation zone. Volume sellers harvest yield, smart money accumulates, the spring tightens. This is manufactured. Dealers are currently forced to counter trade every mechanism or every rally to maintain their hedges. Once this clears, the suppression mechanism simply turns off. The spring uncoils and price aggressively re-rates to trend value 119K. It looks pretty good. I like the reasoning. Oops. Okay, we got another Marty Party. Yes, as of today, December 30th, 2025, Elon Musk has directed X to increase creator payouts with the explicit goal of better competing with YouTube. In recent posts on X, Musk responded, "Okay, let's do it," to a suggestion for significantly higher payouts per view for long-term videos, proposing 5 to 10 cents per view, compared to YouTube's 1 to 3 cents. He added the caveat, but rigorously enforcing no gaming of the system, tagging X's head of product, Nikita Beer. Nice. Mr. Roberts said, "Hello, JJ. Hello, gang. Merry Christmas." Merry Christmas, Mr. Roberts. Happy New Year as well. Tisha said, "Thanks, JY's Adventure. Only coins that did well are new coins." Okay, Tishu said, I mean, STX is down so much. It looks like a good buy. But I've been burned before buying shit that is so down. Polygon, Atom, Dot, cough, cough. Old coin. Okay, JY's Adventure said, old coins are risky bets, teach you. Trade the market you are given. The only coins that do well in these conditions are new coins, 23 to 24. And the coins that did well are new coins. That's not true. Solana hit a new all-time high. So did ETH, actually. JY's Adventure said, even though JJ disagrees, it wasn't a bull market. Millionaires were made on Solana memes. Unfortunately, trading them were extremely difficult. It was a bull market. Merry Christmas, Mr. Roberts. Arguments can be made for both sides. It was not a typical bull market. I'm not going to argue. I'm not going to say that it wasn't a bull market because people did make money, but it was not a typical bull market. I do not think that the same liquidity that we had in 2021 returned in 2025. People made a lot of money with a lot less liquidity. So there's a lot less winners. Okay. AI is driving U.S. GDP growth. IT equipment and software investment now reflects a record 4.5% of GDP. This suppresses the previous peak seen in Q4 2000. Now up 1.5 percentage points since Q3 2023. Since Q3 2023, IT equipment and software investment has risen 288 billion, or 26%, to a record 1.39 trillion. Since Q1 2020, AI-related investment has surged 545 billion, or 64%. AI is becoming the backbone of U.S. economic growth. That's pretty crazy, honestly, that it took this long for a country to like jump on board with something like this. And I'm very, very surprised that China was not leading the way when it comes to AI. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm completely in the dark and I've been propagandized, but it definitely seems like U.S. is leading the pack, at least when it comes to money. JY's Adventure said Solana and ETH, yes, but I'm saying the most coins that did well were new coins. Oh, yeah, I don't disagree with that. That's just because we didn't experience a bull market. That is my argument. Okay. Saeed said, hi, sir. What's going on, Saeed? Happy Tuesday, my friend. Or Wednesday for you, maybe. U.S. consumer spending is extremely centralized among high-income households. Households in the top 20% of income distribution now reflect 39% of all spending on goods and services. Their concentration is even higher in new vehicle purchases, where they make up 55% of total spend. This is followed by households in the 60 to 80% income bracket, which represents 23% of total spending and 21% of new vehicle purchases. As a result, nearly 8 out of 10 new vehicles are bought by the top 40% of households. Meanwhile, the bottom 20% contribute to just 9% of total spending and a mere 4% of new vehicle demand. The U.S. wealth divide has never been larger. That's actually very sad. JY, as I mentioned, said SWI was an altcoin that did a 10x. So you can count SWI and SAY. They were new. All new coins. They were new as well. I don't know. I'm not going to get into it. Breaking: SoftBank fully funds a $40 billion investment in OpenAI per CNBC. Tomorrow is Warren Buffett's last day as CEO of Berkshire Hathaway. Buffett took the stocks from $19 a share in 1965 to $750,000 a share today, up 3.95 million%. Congratulations to the best investor of all time. Fortunately, I believe he has been dethroned by Nancy Pelosi. Congratulations, though, Warren Buffett. Well deserved. Retail investors are piling into the silver market. The largest physical-backed silver ETF, SLV, holdings are up 16,390 tons, the highest since July 2022. Total silver held by the fund has risen 3,000 tons since February. By comparison, the February 2021 peak was 20,819 tons during a period of extreme retail interest in silver ETFs fueled by Wall Street bets. Overall, total known ETF holdings of silver stand at 24,551 tons, the highest since June 2022, after rising 4,933 tons since February. Retail demand for silver is accelerating. Crazy, crazy stuff. Adam Kobiesi posted, the 10-plus year debate of Bitcoin versus gold has never made sense. The denominator of Bitcoin and gold is the same, fiat. All fiat currencies lose purchasing power over time. It should be Bitcoin and gold, not Bitcoin or gold. Both can and will rise together over the long run. I couldn't agree more. I think the tribalism in investing in general is silly. Next, we got U.S. options market activity has never been higher. Total options volume is on track to exceed an average of 60 million contracts per day in 2025 for the first time ever. This would mark a 10 million contract increase year over year and a 30 million jump since 2020. By comparison, before the pandemic, there was only 1 year where options volumes exceeded 20 million contracts per day on average in 2018. Meanwhile, ODTE options volume is up to a record 62% of the total so far in Q4 2025. This percentage has tripled since Q2 2021. Risk appetite is surging at a record pace. Let's see. Breaking retail money market fund assets rise to a record 2.25 trillion, up 270 billion year over year. Retail money market fund assets are now on track for their third consecutive annual surge. Since the start of 2023, holdings have more than doubled. Over the last 8 years, retail money market fund assets have grown 15% per year on average. The average yield is currently 3.57%, according to the Crane 100 Money Fund Index, which tracks the 100 largest money market funds. Retail is capitalizing on risk-free yields. Breaking: Warner Brothers plans to reject the latest takeover offer from Paramount Skydance per Bloomberg. More evidence of a weakening U.S. labor market, which is why I'm going to probably bet on a interest rate decrease. The quits rate in the private sector declined to 2% in October, the lowest since the 2020 pandemic. This measures the portion of private workers voluntarily quitting their jobs. At the same time, the total non-farm quits rate fell to 1.8%, the lowest since May 2020. Both metrics are now consistent with levels seen during the midst of the 2008 financial crisis. For perspective, private and total quits rates during the 2001 recession were higher at 2.5% and 2.2% respectively. As hiring slows, fewer job opportunities are present, leading to a reduced number of workers quitting. The U.S. job market needs rate cuts. Markets are witnessing history. The U.S. stock market cap to GDP ratio is up to a record 218%. This comes as the stock market's value jumped to a new all-time high of 68 trillion, far exceeding the 31 trillion size of the U.S. economy. That's crazy. This ratio has surged 56 percentage points over the last 8 months. As a result, the metric is now 78 percentage points above the 2000.com bubble peak. Since the 2020 pandemic, the U.S. stock market has grown twice as fast as the world's largest economy. Own assets or be left behind. CryptoFace apparently closed a bunch of his silver longs, which is crazy. Billionaire Grant Cardone plans to go public in 2026, aiming to build the world's largest Bitcoin real estate company. OKX's founder and CEO Star Zhu reflects on a year focused on freedom in finance, built on trust, reliability, and global scale. They highlight licensed growth, verifiable reserves, infrastructure uptime, and expanded self-custody as the foundation for a more secure digital asset ecosystem. Very cool. I don't know much about OKX. I would like to see their user interface. I'm a big user interface nerd. JY's Adventure said XRP for some reason is an exception. Maybe in a strong bull market, a lot of old coins do well, like we saw with the Zcash. But for a bunch of old coins, not just one out of millions, Bitcoin Cash looks super strong as well. Wish I had money at the time to buy lows at 150. For some reason, Bitcoin Cash and Litecoin always they like hold steady. They have like a really long-term die-hard user base, which is impressive. And it's probably because they've been around for so long and they haven't like rugged. So I understand it. Update: long-term holders have halted Bitcoin selling for the first time since July 2025, per crypto investor James Pillows. We got spike, dip, bigger dip, and we've officially begun our first little green spike since the dip begun. Privacy and exchange tokens are the only sectors on track to finish 2025 in the green, per Artemis. Jeez. Yeah, we've got exchange tokens up 15.6%, privacy coins up 266.5%. The best negative coin is Bitcoin, followed by Store of Value, and then ETH and Oracle. The worst performer is smart contracts, so other layer ones, data availability. Well, I don't even know what the hell that means. Gaming and Bitcoin ecosystem. Interesting. Dude, perp decks. That's crazy. That is crazy. Insight: gold's market cap stands at 30.6 trillion compared to Bitcoin's 1.76 trillion, about 17 times larger. If Bitcoin is digital gold, is it still undervalued? I would say so. Bitcoin currently trading at 88,255.54. To all crypto fans, everyone on Wall Street, subject NASDAQ reportedly going big on blockchain in 2026. Hey Steve, circling back on this huge development, who is the NASDAQ partnering with exactly? Hell yeah. Bitcoin is still down 6.6% year to date. Does it close the year in the red, or does a magic candle show up at the end? Wouldn't that be crazy? JY's Adventure said I was wrong to de-risk my entire bag, but I'm still holding an okay bag, please. Oh, I refuse to sell my entire bag. I would rather be a bag holder than to miss out. The New York Stock Exchange introduces ETFs linked to Truth Social. I don't know what that means, but very cool. Cheers, guys. Happy Tuesday. Tau BitTensor is one of the best performers of the year. I don't know if they're up for the year anymore, but I know that throughout the year they performed very nicely while everything else was kind of taking a dump. So I have observed that. Grayscale has filed a Form S1 with the SEC to register the Grayscale BitTensor Trust, Tau. SharpLink is now earning an average of 500 Ethereum per week from Ethereum staking. That's pretty sick. Tether minted 1 billion USDT today, which is an insane amount of money. Only 12% of 2025 token sales remain profitable, underscoring the challenging environment for long-term investors this year. Eric Balchinus said Bitcoin's recent price action resembles ETF heartbeat trading, driven by short-term tax moves rather than real market sentiment. Ignore the 4-year cycle. Here are 4 top charts going into 2026. Business cycle and Bitcoin correlation. Bitcoin historically undervalued against gold. 18-year real estate cycle and 200-year-old Benner cycle. We've got Bitcoin versus the business cycle and the correlation. Yeah, this is the first time the business cycle, the ISM, has been just kind of like sideways choppy trash, if we're being real. We've got Bitcoin versus gold. We've got the 18-year real estate cycle, which points to 2026 after 2008, and 2026 from the Benner cycle. All right. Next, we've got Plan B. In my opinion, Bitcoin is extremely undervalued. Bitcoin is scarcer than gold and real estate, but valued 10 to 100 times lower. Interesting times ahead. I agree. I couldn't agree more. The last 2 weeks of 2025 will go down in history as the most manipulated price action ever seen on Bitcoin. Now, one of my favorite arguments was always that the institutions are going to make you sell your bags so that they can get in lower. And again, tinfoil hat, I hate using it because it's just a cop-out. It's very much copium. But it kind of seems like that's what's happening right now. And everyone just forgot about that. They're like, no, whatever, it's over. It's over. And they're all leaving. So when it does pump, they're going to be like, oh, stupid, why didn't I remember that institutions want me to sell my bags so that they can buy low? Everyone's going to forget. KY's Avenger said, it's just you never know what will do well, so I diversified into other memes. Can you look at Shrimp, please? Tau is good. Dang, when I make some money, I'm buying SharpLink stock. All right, yeah, let's take a look at Shrimp. Okay, Shrep on Monad, 26-day old one. It's up 61% on the day. Ooh, very nice, very nice. Look at that. Hell yeah. So, you had the parabola. The parabola. Check this out. Oh my gosh, that's beautiful. So, you got clear resistance, 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 break, support, bam. Blast off. Textbook, looking good. It is not overbought. It was for a microsecond. And then it retraced. It's currently sitting at 0.0002270. Looking good. Can you get above 2.5 is the question. That's going to be the next psychological level. Sellers and buyers literally neck and neck as far as quantity of the individual goes. But the buyers seem to have more money. Very interesting. Chart looks sick. All right, Bitcoin 88,297. That was good. Mr. Roberts said, random. I added to the RC car fleet this holiday. I got a used Arma Outcast stunt truck. I'm taking the holidays to go through the whole thing and bring it back up to snuff. Hell yeah. Dude, I was thinking about, we have a little remote control car sitting in the living room, and I'm like, I want batteries for this thing. There's I don't know. I don't want to say there's nothing more fun. There's definitely stuff that's probably more fun. But like one of the most fun things you can do in the snow is play with a remote control car. I remember having a remote control boat as well. Those are so much fun. I was playing with it in the pond. My buddies were like messing around, and then one of my buddies threw mud at it, and I like dodged it with the boat. And then I was like, oh my gosh, that sounds like the funnest game ever. So we made a game where one person would drive the boat and then the other two would throw mud at it, and whoever hit it got to drive the boat next. And we just cycled through each other, throwing mud, trying to hit this moving target in the water from like, 20, 30 feet away. It was so much fun. Jay Wes Adventure said I should have held my entire bag, but I took some out. It happens. Christoph said Chili's is pumping. I haven't looked at Chili's in forever. Chili's. Oh, nice. Heck yeah. Oh my gosh, this thing's been down here for forever. Good for them. You got a nice little bottoming out pattern. You got almost like an inverse Bart going on here. Look at this. You got Bart followed by inverse Bart. Hell yeah. Let's see if you can get back above 5. Get back above 5 cents. That'd be huge. It's at 39.80, so there's plenty of money to make in between here and there. It is incredibly overbought on the 4-hour time frame, so exercise caution. But it does look good. Green dot of the momentum wave point to the upside, bullish cross of the moving average on the RSI. Money flows negative, but price so far positive. Bitcoin chilling, 88 to 83 and 51 cents. All right, Bitcoin is flashing 2 bull signals. Bitcoin's MACD has returned to levels last seen at the 2022 bear market bottom. Bottom might be near. The current market structure is forming a clear bullish divergence on its MACD. If the traditional 4-year cycle is indeed broken, 2026 could look very different. We will see what happens. I'm pretty exciting. Joey's ever just said full port Chili's. Oh wow, nice old coin going up. That's pretty funny. It's a stupid phase where the chart's like all red and then there's a little bit of green at the bottom and it goes. That's so stupid. That's why I make that face for the thumbnail, which by the way is fully, I didn't know this until like earlier this year, but that thumbnail face is fully inspired by Tony Soprano. Hold on, I got it right here. Ready? It's so good. Open the door. An evolution of man. Good stuff. Okay. Altcoins. This is mustache again, so we all know that it's very hit or miss, mostly miss, but we're gonna look anyways. We like to consider all angles. Altcoins. The macro chart for others altcoins looks really interesting. We're talking about a falling wedge that has been in the making for 4.5 years. Breakout in 2026. Are you ready? That would be pretty sick. Derek said I always wondered about that. It's pretty cool to discover that. I had no idea. I was like, there's no way. And then I like lined it up and it lines up perfectly. I was like, whoa, blew my mind. Jay West Avenger said, could make a Zcash move. What, Chili's? I see. My only thing with Chili's is they were on board with like FIFA, and now FIFA's doing their own coin. So, didn't they like partner with Avalanche too or something like that to build their own coin? Something. But I don't think that Chili's is gonna have the soccer football thing anymore, or at least not exclusively. Bar chart posted U.S. banks Fed Reserve just pumped $16 billion into the U.S. banking system through overnight repos. This is the second largest liquidity injection since the pandemic. Coinbase just formed a death cross, which, by the way, usually marks a bottom. Not right away, but if you're looking to accumulate some coin, maybe time to start paying attention. Not financial advice. South Africa's rand is up 11.5% against the US dollar this year, on track for its biggest annual gain since 2009. That's actually pretty sick. You imagine being in another country, like America is supposed to be like the superpower of the world, and then all of a sudden your currency buys you like twice as much what it did like a week ago because every other currency is decreasing in value. You're like, hell yeah. It's like getting a 100% raise at work. All of a sudden you're just like a millionaire. You're like, let's go. Years of down than a 10x pump, right? Derek said, FET was the biggest disappointment for me this year. With all the AI hype, I really hoped it would do better. Honestly, the flavor of the weak coins I think are the most dangerous, because you get into this like almost wormhole of hype, and then you throw your money into it and you never see the money again. Let's go to categories. You've got meme coins. This year, this cycle was meme coins for sure. BNB had like BNB meme coins were okay last cycle. AI was a big one this cycle as well. RWA was kind of like a bear market in between thing. Gaming was last cycle for sure. DPIN was another in between like flavor of the week thing. Trading bots, I don't think ever took off. Wallet, I don't know why anyone would ever buy a wallet token. NFTs for last bull market. See what I mean though? We've got NFTs, AI, decentralized physical infrastructure, gaming, real world assets, AI again, BNB specific meme coins like the godfather of memes, Solana meme coins. Layer 1s were really popular last bull market. There's always a flavor of the week that people are going to rotate in and out of. It's out of control. And last but not least, we've got silver's back, blasting to a 10% gain on the day, according to bar chart. Very cool. Check out silver really quick. It is currently down 1.29% on the day. 75.23. Pretty crazy. All right, portfolio update. The 1K to 10K Grok portfolio currently down $570 or 57%. Best performer Solana is only down 26. Worst performer Fetch. Speak of the devil. Currently down 73. That's crazy. Next, we got the meme coin portfolio. Down 651, 65.1%. Best performer Doge only down $96. Worst performer Giga Chad down 168. Then the narrative portfolio, my favorite, and what was once upon a time the most stable, currently down 246 or 49.2%. This portfolio is made up of one meme coin, one artificial intelligence coin, one decentralized physical infrastructure coin, one real world asset coin, and one gaming coin. And sometimes it's killing it, sometimes it's not. Best performer is Tau, only down 24. Worst performer is Fetch, down 65. And last but not least, we've got the perfect entry portfolio, which we are going to rename the knife catching portfolio. This portfolio is currently down 471. Is it 70? No, 481. 481 or 48.1%. The best performer here is Chainlink, down 19. Worst performer, Render, down 69. Nice. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. Bitcoin chilling. All right, let's see. If you got the lows on FET in 2023, you did well, but after that, it topped out after it just pumped. It's like Caspa, you got its pump and just stopped pumping. But after that, it topped out after it pumped. Derek said I bought FET throughout mid to late 2024. It did really well at first, but just dumped and never made it back. JY's Avenger said, yeah, the best entry was 2023. Unfortunately, most don't get those lows. Just like Solana, best entry was 2023. Yeah, dude, 2023 is legit when I made the most money in crypto. Saeed said, let's make a WhatsApp group and have swing trade in Bitcoin, ETH, and Sol. I do have a WhatsApp linked in the description. I don't really use it, though. Not a big WhatsApp guy. JY's Adventure said, I always question why this market is so difficult. I understand why retail avoid it like the Black Plague. I think retail just doesn't have money right now. I really, truly believe retail does not have money. It's a lot easier to be like, I'm going to just, buy a scratch off or take a stupid bet on Polymarket, Kalshi, or whatever the other betting markets are, than to like try to navigate cryptocurrency. Retail is 100% broke. I couldn't agree more. But, guys, been going for almost 2 hours. I am a sleepy boy. So, I'm going to get off. As always, if Bitcoin starts to do anything crazy, I will hop back on. Otherwise, I will see you all tomorrow. I appreciate you guys for sticking around. Don't forget to smash the like button on your way out. If you haven't already, join the Discord in the description. It's a lot of fun. Completely free. Always will be. And I'll see you all tomorrow. Happy Tuesday. Good night.